Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Jea and JP's vidcast, a series of video podcasts designed to disrupt your current ways of thinking and breathe new perspectives into your life.
So we have been talking about our weeks of wellness, and so far we have covered physical wellness and emotional wellness. And this week, Dr. J and I would like to walk you through mental wellness, which is being aware of your thoughts and your thought patterns. So let's take a look at what mental wellness is all about. Mental wellness, as defined by mentalhealth.gov, is the ability for us to cope with the stresses of life, to work productively, to make meaningful contributions to our communities, and to realize our full potential. And there are so many things that can get in the way of us achieving any one of these. We're going to talk about a few right now, but I do want to call us back to something that Dr. J and I have already talked to you about. Dr. J and I talked to you about some cognitive distortions that we commonly come across, and we created vidcasts on those topics, and that would include filtering, polarized thinking, shoulds, labeling, and catastrophizing. Now, there are many more cognitive distortions. Dr. J and I definitely recommend and encourage you to search for more cognitive distortions and how they may be impacting your life. But we want to dive into just a general theme that seems to come about when it comes to mental wellness. That idea is toxic cycles of thinking. And put simply, it is a thought loop in which you believe one thing must be true because of one piece of evidence. But the thing is that that piece of evidence came from the belief you held. So here are just a few examples, and this is one for my own life that I am more than happy to share with you. I can remember a toxic cycle of thinking in my life where I thought I must not be attractive because I can't get a date. And so therefore I think I'm going to be single the rest of my life because I'm unattractive. As you can see there, it becomes a cycle of thinking, a toxic cycle of thinking, because I think to myself, well, I'm not attractive, so then I'm going to be single the rest of my life because I'm unattractive because I can't get a date. And these toxic cycles of thinking can really get in the way of us being happy. Here's another example. I keep getting turned down for a promotion at work, which means I must not be manager material because I keep getting turned down for a promotion at work. And interestingly enough, these toxic cycles of thinking can really keep us from answering some key questions and really finding out the truth behind it. So let's talk about how we disrupt that toxic cycle. We can ask ourselves some key questions such as, what is the real truth here? For instance, is it really that I'm unattractive, or is it just that either I'm not going to the right locations to find a potential partner, maybe they really aren't someone that I should be with for the rest of my life? Who knows? But what is the real truth here? The next question is, how do these thoughts serve me? Dr. J has walked me through this multiple times in my life, and she's brought it up in our vidcasts about if the thought doesn't serve you, then don't hold it. So that's a key question for us. Number 3, what might be alternative ways to perceive what I'm experiencing? For instance, I can't get a date. Well, what does that mean? There's so many reasons why someone may not be able to find a date, and so we need to be able and willing to look at our experience in different ways. Finally, what belief brings me the most joy? Again, Dr. J has walked us through how do we really choose the thoughts and the beliefs that bring us the most joy, and what can we hold on to that serves us well. So here are a few things to think about when it comes to maintaining positive mental wellness. The first thing that I love talking to people about is meditation. And put very simply, I like to think of it as intentional mental control. Now, this comes in many different forms: yoga, quiet time or quiet space, using prayer. There are many, many different ways, but it's really the ability for your brain to relax, to focus, and to slow down. It's great for sleep, it's great for perspective taking, and it's great for reflection. Even if you can take 5 minutes before you go to bed and to just breathe, to lay down on your bed, to breathe, to be aware of your breathing, and just the awareness of your breathing, you'll find that your brain changes and it is able to take out all of those cluttering thoughts that it's been holding on to throughout the day, and it puts you in a better place to take those different perspectives, better perspectives, and to be ready to go to sleep. Now, don't forget your disruptive thinking tools. Make sure you go back and review all of the tools that Dr. Jea and I have provided you. And really, you can just spend a moment to pause, reflect on what those thoughts were that you just experienced, and redirect the ones that don't serve you well. Now, when it comes to mental wellness and making meaningful contributions to our communities, engage with those around you. This can come in many different forms: volunteering, just pro-social behaviors with friends and outings with your friends or outings with loved ones, with family members, just being out, being with people, and knowing that you have an impact on your community. And always remember that you are full of potential. One visual that I love to give is this idea that we have a pool of skills that we have that we're good at. But then we have this other pool of experiences that we just know we enjoy doing. And what's interesting is that when we're thinking about tapping into our full potential, I think that there's a sweet spot. There's many articles out that encourage us to realize that if you know what you're good at and you know what you enjoy doing, that sweet spot is going to be right in between those two things. So we encourage you to reflect on what you're good at, reflect on what you enjoy doing, see where that crossover is, and really put yourself at the center of it. So now for your homework. I really encourage you to slow down your thoughts. Ask yourself key questions like, what are you thinking? How do those thoughts serve you? Now, easier than just randomly checking in and asking yourself, okay, wait, hold on. Let's think about a difficult time that you experienced recently. What were your thoughts? How do those thoughts serve you, or how did they serve you in that moment? And how might you have thought about that experience differently? How could it have served you differently? So that is our week of wellness on mental wellness. We look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, go out and shine love and light into the world. Take care.